Welcome to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, share, and drop your comments. Thank you. In this tutorial, I'll be learning how to make this particular twist skirt. It's easy to make, just follow the tutorial. The first thing we need is a pattern. You need to make a pattern of the skirt, the length, the waist, the hip, and you had the darts also. So I made two. I'll be manipulating this one. The first point we need to locate is the twist point, and from this image I'll just come down from my hip line by like 1 inch, and from the center of the skirt I'll move like 2 inches. So that is the point, that is the point the twist will be eventually. So I'll draw a line from that point to the right side of the skirt, and I will come down by half an inch. That half inch is for the turning of the skirt eventually, to turn the skirt with facing. So it's because of that I came down by half inch. So I'll draw a line like this and draw a straight line downward. But the straight line, if you look at the skirt, it's not straight, it's not straight down. So I'll have to tint it towards the lower part of the skirt. So I'll tint this particular line, and so I'm tinting towards the middle of the skirt. And I should remind you here that we're actually working with the front pattern. This is the front pattern of the skirt. So the next thing is to draw the other twist by the left side of the skirt, and just as I did, I came down by half inch also. And if you look at my drawing, you realize that it's interwoven. And why I did that is because I need the twist to cut each other, to cut across each other. So this is what I have at the end. And if you look at the image also, you realize that the twisted part, one of the twisted parts, is longer than the skirt. So that is what I'm doing here. I want to extend that line by 4 inches downward. So that by the time I finish sewing, it will be longer than the actual skirt. So the next thing now is to cut out my pattern. So this is what I have. Placing the cutout pattern on the original design, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So the next thing is to slash and spread the pattern. Starting with the left pattern, I need to mark that side to show the upper part of my pattern, because after cutting and spreading it might be confusing. So I just want to make sure I draw a line at the center. So I'll draw the line and cut it out. Just watch what I'm doing. I'm putting that line also so that I will not miss where I'm supposed to join. So I need to know where I cut, and when it's time for me to join, I need to know where to join. So that is why I marked, and for you to understand what I'm doing also. So I'll still cut again. I'll mark and still slash it. I'll mark this also. Because I'm using a marker and the marker is thick, so I need to mark the wrong side so that I will know the wrong side of my pattern. So that's why I'm using that pencil to just mark that that's the wrong side. So the next thing is to place the pattern and spread it. I'll leave a distance of 1 inch between the patterns, just 1 inch. So I'm marking the 1 inch. So after marking the 1 inch, then I will glue down the second pattern. And I will also make sure that the parts that I marked 3 times are facing this arrow. Can you see the arrow? So they are matching at that point. The next thing is to cut out my pattern, and I think I spread it by 7 inches. Yes, the spread was 7 inches. So I'll cut these other parts too. Just watch as I cut and spread it. So after fixing it, the next thing is to cut it out also. And after cutting, I'll take it to my fabric and cut out my fabric. At this point, I already used the pattern to cut out the fabric. This is actually a tutorial, so I didn't add sewing allowance. But if you are cutting it for your fabric, please remember to add sewing allowance so that you can fold, because we'll fold that part. Then the lower part too, you need to add sewing allowance because you need to fold in your skirt. But you might not need to add sewing allowance to the sides because our pattern already has the seam allowance. So the upper part, you can interlock it. So this is how we are going to fold it and sew. This is how we are going to sew. But before I do that, I will take it to my sewing machine and I'll fold the part that I need to fold. And also for the small cutout, this is what I have. Don't forget to add allowance, your seam and your sewing allowance. Don't forget to do, because at that point we need to fold it. So please remember to add when you're sewing. We'll gather also like this and sew. But let me go do the folding first. After folding, remember to iron. I didn't iron this, but please remember to iron to give it a very neat finishing. So I'll gather the center like that and I'll fold it. And I will sew the side. I will sew and until I get very close to that knot. Okay, this is me trying to show you how to do the folding once again. So I'll be using my pin to pin it down, to hold it down at the knot. Then I'll pin the side. I will sew. Don't forget to give it a very nice finishing. You can interlock the edges if you have to. So this is what I have. Then I'll pick the second side and pass it through that knot. And I will join it also. I'll use my pin before I take it to the sewing machine. So at this point, I'll use the sewing machine to sew it. And I will sew from one end till I get to the part that is joined together with that knot part. I will sew as close as possible to the knot. as close as possible to it. Then I'll sew the other side too, and after sewing, you take it to your ironing table and give it a very good press. Give it a very good press, and that is how to achieve the twist. Then you can now use your pattern to cut the front of the skirt where you put this twisted part. Then you cut your back, add your zipper allowance, and you just sew the skirt normally the way you would have sewn your straight skirt. You need to give it a very good press, and just complete the sewing of your skirt. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something new. See you in my next video. Bye bye.